funny. You're like, let's review something that you have no memory of, so you can give a positive, good, well-rounded review.
Whatever. I do it just on the fly, like fucking you do.
What do you mean?
If I tell you the title 1 second before we start, it's gonna make any fucking difference.
When I'm like, we didn't watch anything else, I don't remember this.
Yeah, this is great. We did though. You will remember it. Don't worry, I wouldn't do it to you.
Right.
Ready? So one of the newest Shudder films is a movie called Blood Relatives, which we watched last night, and Kaylee has no fucking memory of.
I do have a good memory. I forgot about this one.
So this movie is written, directed, and starring Noah. I can't remember his last name, but I know the guy. I've seen him a million freaking times. We've seen him multiple times this year in movies we've watched.
Yeah.
So anyway, he is a vampire, and he is on the road. Very near dark style. He's in this car with blacked out windows. Like, he tapes them up when the sun comes up, throws a cover over it, parks it behind a freaking sign, like Marty does with the freaking DeLorean in Back to the Future.
He's like Spike with his windows.
Yeah, and he sleeps. And so anyways, he's kind of just going on, living his life. Living the Vita Loca. Living the Vampire Loca. No, stop me. Just stop me there.
Stop.
I'm still in my head like Vipa Loca? Vampa Loca? And so he is being pursued and followed by a young woman. And this young woman finally tracks him down and reveals that they are blood relatives. She is his daughter. And then he has to figure out what to do with that. He didn't even know he could get someone pregnant. And she is showing signs that she got some genetics passed down from dad. So she's Blade. She's half human.
She's Blade.
Half vampire. She's a daywalker. Yeah. So anyway, this film goes for, kind of this like road trip, dad and daughter who don't really know each other, estranged relationship, butting heads. She really wants his love and affection. He didn't even know she existed, so he's like pushing her away. But if you can kind of guess where that's all gonna head. Overall, I was really into it. I really liked the dynamic between them. They're the heart of the movie for sure, even though his isn't beating. Hers, jury's still out. It just does like a beat, then it skips a beat, then a beat. Right? It's just like dead, not dead. Yeah. I don't know. You can stop me. Somebody stop me. So, as I said, you're really there for the daughter-daddy relationship and kind of the ups and downs and the tumultuous terrain that they have to traverse.
Sure.
But yeah, I will say, I don't know if this is his first film directing, but it felt like it. It felt like a freshman effort. It felt like, that, when you watch directors' first movies, like Reservoir Dogs or freaking there's so many Pie and Following for Christopher Nolan or whatever. There's just this air of like student film feel to it. It doesn't have confidence yet.
The confidence
and the film kind of feels a little stagnant and I mean, it's insecure in a way, as it said. Confidence is there. It's just there. I don't know. There's no fluidity to things. It does feel kind of stilted in that way, but shows promise for a future film. But maybe he's done a few, and we're already at that. But I don't know. Maybe it's limited by its budget or whatnot. But it did feel student filmy. but I still, because I like him as an actor, and I think she was really good, and they bounce off of each other really well. There's good chemistry between them. It's definitely a fun watch for people into kind of quirky dad-daughter vampire tales, if you will. So, what'd you think?
I actually really liked the vampire aspect of this. It was kind of unexpected because I didn't know what it was about when we started it. But my favorite part of the film is definitely the dialogue, which it actually reminds me of another film that we watched tonight that we're going to review. It's very Wes Anderson, like, not, people don't really talk like that kind of witty dialogue. Like, it really is written to be witty. But for me, punchy. And I really like that type of writing. I find it to be, I mean, it is fake feeling, you know, to a degree, but I find it, like, artistic and kind of poetic, and I'm into it, even though maybe some people might think it's
theatrical,
pretentious, but I like the theatrics of it. And, I think the daddy-daughter, like, story, it was interesting, especially because, you know, it's a more, like, teen daughter daddy, and there's, you know, obviously different, elements with age, right? Like, you're gonna get a totally different dynamic if you have a very young child versus an almost grown, like, adult child.
The actress is like 26.
Yeah,
she's playing like 15.
Yeah. So I enjoyed all that, and I think that you make a really good point about the insecurity of the directing style, because I would say that is definitely I guess you could say a negative, in that the film doesn't flow that well with some of the shot selections, or at least it didn't for me. But I really enjoyed the acting and the story otherwise, so it definitely didn't turn me off to the film, but it could have elevated it had it been a little more fluid, for sure.
The film is also never really grandiose or anything. It's just very low level the whole time. It doesn't really climax to anything. It doesn't really build anywhere. So I can definitely see that being lackluster for people who expect this to, like, kind of have some big moment that it's building towards. Doesn't really. It just kind of, like, goes along. Their relationship goes back and forth, and then it ends. And that's really the film. And I do think that had they focused on certain aspects more than others, and really built up tension between this and that, it could have worked better.
Good see. Dang.
So
it's the
cat hair. It is the cat hair. But it's a fun watch. I mean, I didn't dislike, I think, any of the films that we watched. So
no, I didn't either.
Overall, it's worth a watch. For sure. So I think, and I say this a lot, but I think this probably happens in maybe 20-30% of the movies that I watch, and I always have to say this. This is the kind of movie, 10 minutes in, you're not liking it, shut it off.
Yeah,
it just has a very even tone throughout the whole film. You're not going to get some, like, midway point. At least, okay, I will say this. Give it till they meet and give them 10 minutes. Right?
So that you can see.
Because him by himself is a bit of a different dynamic. Not a different tone, but a different dynamic than when he is with her. So get to her, give them 10 minutes. If you're like, I'm just not feeling this relationship or whatever, then shut it off, because they're not going to change all that much. So that's my recommendation. It's on Shudder. Let us know. Bye.